Alright everyone, welcome to week 2 of Finite Help Show. We're going to go over some Venn diagram basics. I'm Andrew Roosh from Roosh Tutoring. So I think it would be helpful to kind of go over first what a Venn diagram is. So a Venn diagram is a very convenient visual way of showing how sets kind of interact with each other. So anytime you have a set, you have to consider a universe, right? What are you measuring? For example, you could say all IU freshmen are universe. And within the IU freshmen, we can make up any number of subsets of groups. Maybe A could be, your Kelly-directed MITs, and B could be girls on the cheerleading team or something. Maybe there's a few overlap there. Maybe there's a few girls that are, I'm sure there are, that are on the cheerleading team and Kelly-directed MITs. So that would be kind of the middle here. So you're going to get a lot of terminology, and a lot of it maybe helps to see kind of the symbols and then understand what it kind of translates into what the terms are using. So let's say, we have A intersect B. That means that, we want something that has both the properties of A and B, right? So for example, we say how many people are... Okay, our example for cheerleaders and Kelly-directed MITs, well, that would be this narrow one here. Now, if you want to be more inclusive, you could say, okay, well, we could have A union B, right? So all of, the cheerleaders are a freshman, or anyone who's a directed MIT that's also a freshman. So that's a lot more inclusive than narrowing it down, right? Also, it's good to know the complement. So whenever you see a little parenthesis here with a little tick mark up here, that means the complement, right? So everything that's not that. So here we're excluding the Kelly-directed MITs and we're excluding the cheerleaders. So, everyone who doesn't meet either of those criteria. So that could be maybe a chemistry major or biology major, whatever else, or who's not on a cheerleading team. So there's a couple of equations, I think, just important rules to remember. So, we kind of talked about the neither, right? So let's just do theoretically. Let's say we had all the Kelly-directed MITs that are freshmen plus everyone who's freshman that's not Kelly-directed MITs would equal the universe, right? Which in this case would be all the freshmen at IU. Also, as we showed in the Venn diagram before, you don't want to double count, right? So we have this rule here, which is A plus B minus A intersect B equals A union B. So for example, let's say there's 1,000 Kelly-directed MITs, and there are, 50 cheerleaders on the freshman cheerleading squad, and 10 of those cheerleaders are Kelly-directed MITs. Well, we really don't want to double count those 10 that fit both categories, right? So if we're going to add them together to find the union of the two, all the IU freshman directed MITs or cheerleaders, then you have to subtract out the middle to not double count it. So let's go into some word problems and kind of understand better what we're looking at. So we have a friend John here, right? And John's hosting a party. He invites 30 girls, 20 redheads, and 15 redheaded girls. And furthermore, he invites 15 Shaolin monks. And for sake of argument, we'll assume that the monks are neither female or red-headed. So how many people are invited to the party? So what we're trying to find here is the universe, right? So first we have this group that are, we're talking about girls and redheads, and then we have intersect here, right? And then we have an outside. So let's draw a little box. That kind of indicates our universe, right? And we have we have a circle for our girls, right? We have our circle for our redheads, right? And then we have our outside, right? So we know that there are 15 redheaded girls that are invited to this party, okay? So we can put 15 in the middle here. Now, a mistake that a lot of people do was when they hear about there's 30 girls, they'll put 30 in here. Well, we have to be careful because there are 30 girls, but there's also 15 redheaded girls. So we're counting these twice. If we add these together, we get 45. So that's something we don't want to do. So whenever you hear about an thing that describes a circle that has an intersect, you always want to put that on the outside. So I'm going to do 30 here for the girls. And then we have 20 redheads, right? Well, now that we know that, this circle is the intersect plus whatever this is equals 20. This circle is, the intersect plus whatever's out here is 30. So we have 15 girls that are not redheads. They could be blonde or brown or whatever. And we have 5 redheads that are not girls, presumably men. Now we have our Shaolin monks that are neither girls or redheads, right? And so the Shaolin monks go outside. So these are your exterior, right? They're non-girls and non-redheads. So now we want to figure out what our universe is, right? Well, we can add the components together, right? So we have 15 here plus 15 here. That's 30. Plus 5 is 35. And then we have 15 outside of here. That's 50. So there's a total of 50 people invited to this party. Sounds like a real rager. It'd be kind of cool to hang out with some Shaolin monks. So now we have next our friend Kara here. Now, Kara is a recruitment chairman for the Alpha Beta Iota sorority. Now, in this case, Kara, a total of 40 bids were given out. We know that 20 of the girls do not live in McNutt and are not cheerleaders. So they're neither McNutt nor cheerleaders. We know that 15 of the girls live in McNutt, and we know that 10 of the girls are cheerleaders. How many of the girls are cheerleaders living in McNutt? Okay. Well, again, let's start building our Venn diagram here. This time we're given the universe, right? We know that there are 40 girls that are given bids. So the universe of bids to ABI, Alpha Beta Iota, is 40. So we got 40 here. We got our circle for McNutt. We got our circle for the cheerleaders. And we know there are 20 of the girls do not live in McNutt and are not cheerleaders, right? So 20 goes outside here. So now, we know that 15 of the girls live in McNutt, and we know that 10 of these are cheerleaders. Okay. Well, it puts us in an interesting predicament, right? Because if we just add these together, we get 10 plus 20, it's 30, and then 15 plus 30 is 45, so it's more than the universe. So obviously there has to be an overlap here to get our universe to be correct. So what would that be? Well, what we could do is, if you remember that rule we talked about earlier, the A complement, A plus A complement equals the universe, right? Well, in this case, and then we also know that the A union B equals A plus B minus A intersect B, right? Okay. Well, in this case, we have to put these two together and realize that, okay, what is A union B? Well, we can extrapolate, because we know what A union B, we know what the universe is, right? We know the universe is 40. We know that A union B complement is 20, right? So what would A union B be? Well, if you subtract 20, that would be 20, right? So A union B equals 20. Okay. So now, if we know that A union B is 20, we can do, we can plug this into here. We have 20 equals 15 plus 10 minus A intersect B. Okay, well, that's 20 equals 25 minus A intersect B, which is the X there. And if we subtract both sides, we get, and we clean it up, we get 5 equals A intersect B. So, voila, we have 5 cheerleaders are living in McNutt that are members of the Alpha Beta Iota pledge class. Alrighty, this is a pretty short synopsis of Venn diagrams. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to text me or contact me on Facebook. My phone number is 765-319-8657, and just look up IU Tutoring on Facebook. Thank you very much, and good luck this week.